the delegates, invitees, ladies and gentlemen. I am going to talk on a very important subject, disaster management. It is not related to any particular industry, although by profession I am a mining engineer and I have done a lot of disaster management in mines, in a couple of plants. But this is a subject quite universal and it can be applied anywhere. As I had the information that yesterday afternoon you had a small incident in one of the facilities. There was a small little fire. Of course, there are very capable people around. A small disaster took place just now. So this kind of thing, disaster generally catches you totally unaware. Most unexpected events suddenly befall and we find that we are in total dark. We find that we are at a total loss, don't know at times what to do. And it is therefore very important that we must at all the times be very well prepared. In fact, right now I have taken up an assignment in my own company, in Sarda industry, where we have a number of plants. We have the ferroalloy plant, we have the steel plant, we have the IFD, we have the mines, the captive mines. As I found that we ourselves are not very well prepared, we don't have the disaster management plan. I have taken up, I have initiated my own company and I am advising everybody to do that. It's very important. Nobody in the world ever wants what would take place. But when it does break out, every nation prepares to face any eventuality from the enemy. But if you are having the preparedness, in this case on the army front, in the case of industrial DMT, the disaster management really helps you in dealing with the emergency in a very efficient way. Last year we had the Bombay strike in Mumbai by some terrorist group from a neighboring country, and we were caught totally unaware. The Coast Guard were not aware. Our police force was caught totally unguarded on the wrong foot. And the kind of disaster that took place, 59 hours of oppression, restlessness, utter confusion, a real chaotic situation that we have all witnessed, at least through the electronic media, it came across the entire country all over the world. Now, if you are prepared on that front, you can take timely action and you can avoid that much of loss of life, that much of loss of property. I'll just give you a small overview of what I'm going to cover. To start with what is disaster, then I'll just cover on the top 10 most expensive disasters which have taken place in the world, a couple of mining disasters, what should be the safety management or the disaster management system, what kind of action plan you should have, something about the communication, vulnerability, crisis management, and a couple of case studies is what I want to cover. Now the first and the foremost question, what is a disaster? You see a hazy picture over here. It's a picture of a mine having a lot of mist, a truck in the background, you can't make out. So this indicates what? This indicates a risky situation. And what does this indicate? A person on the step ladder, completely leaning and trying to take a measurement. It's again an example of this. It can become an accident, it can become a disaster at any moment. Now what do you find here? An egg on the edge of the table. It's a risk. It can fall, break any time. And what does this picture suggest? This is the disaster. 2008 floods of Bihar, this is a picture of that. This is a disaster. And what does this show? It's a risk. Basically, what I want to communicate to you is how the risk, hazard, disaster, they are interconnected and how they are mistaken by majority of the people. Disaster is a physical situation which may or may not be present all the time. You are sitting under a roof, there is a crack in the roof. There is a potential danger, it's a disaster. It's a hazard present all the time. It becomes a disaster the moment you have the roof fall. You are on the national highway, there is a hazard. A petrol tanker is parked by the driver very close to the urban. As long as it is standing there, it's a potential risk, it's a hazard. Any time a flying piece of fire may come and fall over it, it may catch fire, it may explode. That becomes a disaster. So this is how the hazard, disaster and risk are interconnected. Risk is the probability of the hazard being realized over a specific period of time. And now, the 10 most expensive disasters of the world. You must have all heard and read about Chernobyl disaster way back in 1986. It had cost approximately $200 billion. Then the Space Shuttle Columbia back in 2003. It cost about $13 billion. I am not put that in a chronological order, but it's in the descending order of the total cost. Oil spill Galicia in Spain in 2002 cost $12 billion. Space Shuttle Challenger, its explosion, that cost $5.5 billion. Piper Alpha oil rig, the entire rig had got burnt out in 1988, costing $3.4 billion. Alvin Waller's oil spill off the coast of Alaska, where millions of gallons of oil had spilled out after that tanker called Exxon had hit against the shore. That happened in 1989, cost $2.5 billion. A B-2 bomber itself had crashed, landed, and then it cost $1.4 billion. Naturally crash that had happened in California in 2008, $500 million was the cost. They are all estimates. It may vary plus minus 5%. Car tanker against a bridge, against another car against a tanker on the bridge. It happened in Germany in 2004. It cost $8 billion. And Titanic, the earliest of them all, 1912, which has cost $150 billion. The later one, somebody may ask, what about the tsunami? Tsunami's cost estimates are yet to come. So I'm not able to give you those, that detail. But definitely I think that will become the costliest when we have the real figures maybe available with us. Now, what is important to note and what's common in all these disasters that there has been a human failure. Accidents don't just happen, they are caused, and so are the disasters. And a country like Russia, Chernobyl, which has cost so much and so many lives were affected, it was again a human failure. They had taken certain things for granted and did not adjust a particular wall, which led to the explosion of the reactor number 4.